My name is Zara. I'm 26 years old, and I never believed in love the way people talked about it in movies. It always felt too perfect, too scripted. But then something unexpected happened. Something small that changed everything. It started with a mistake. I'm a writer by habit. Poems, notes, incomplete stories. One evening, while scrolling through drafts, I accidentally sent a message to an old email thread. I didn't even remember who was on it. Before I could apologize, a reply came. "It's all right," the message said. Sometimes mistakes hold stories too. His name was Ayan. His tone was calm and gentle, like the last hour before nightfall. We started talking, small talk at first, the weather, books, music. He loved poetry. I loved silence, and yet it felt natural. Then one night he asked, "Zara, would you talk to me on a call?" I hesitated, unsure, but I said yes. That night we spoke for 2 hours, about everything and nothing. It felt like sitting under stars, even though we were miles apart. After that, talking to Ayan became my routine. Every evening, one call, one voice, one comfort. Once, he told me, "Your voice sounds like something written." I laughed. I could hear him smile too. He told me he wrote poems, but never shared them with anyone. I said, "Share them with me." And he did. His words were soft, sometimes sharp, but always honest. Slowly, our connection grew. He became the voice I looked forward to, the thought that kept me steady. One day, we decided to meet in a small town between our cities. I was nervous. What if he was different in person? He wasn't. He stood near the station, holding a notebook, smiling softly. "This is for you," he said. Inside on the first page it read, "Zara, the reason my words have meaning." We spent 2 days together, walking, laughing, sitting in silence. Nothing dramatic, but everything real. On a bench, he looked at me and said, "Your eyes tell stories." I smiled and replied, "And your heart is the first chapter." After that weekend, we returned to our lives, but with each other stitched into every day. Our calls grew deeper, our connection stronger. Then, one night, he said, "I think I've fallen for you." My chest ached, but in the best way. I whispered back, "Me too." And then Ayan vanished. No warning, no goodbye. One day he was there, the next, nothing. I messaged, called, waited. A week passed, then an email came, titled, "The Last Message." My hands trembled as I opened it. "Zara," it read, "I'm sorry. I'm sick. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want you to see me like this. Please remember me the way I was. Smiling, dreaming, full of words." I read it again and again. He continued, "I didn't want to burden you, but I loved you. I still do. If time allows, I'll return." If not, my words are with you in that notebook. I opened the notebook and found myself in every page. Every poem began with Dear Zara. Some were joyful, others aching, but all of them loved me, and I loved him more for every word. 3 months later, I received a small envelope. Inside was a key and a note. He left something for you. No name, no return address. I followed the instructions to a quiet locker room. Inside the locker were pages of unfinished dreams, poems, and one sealed letter. My Zara, it began. If you're reading this, I'm no longer there, but I'm with you. Thank you for every moment, every call, every peak of hope. I don't want to be your ending. I want to be your beginning. I pressed the paper to my heart and cried. But they weren't tears of regret. They were full of gratitude. He had loved me, truly. I sat there for hours, reading every word, every line he'd left behind. And for the first time in months, I wrote again. Not a letter, a story. Our story. I didn't write it to share. I wrote it because I had to. Because love demands to be remembered. Time passed. The pain didn't go, but it softened. It became a quiet ache in my chest, not loud but steady, a part of me. One day, my best friend Asha sat across from me and said, "You look different." I smiled. "I feel different," I replied. She squeezed my hand. "You were lucky," she said. "You had real love." And I nodded. Yes. Even if it didn't last forever, it was real. Sometimes I still visit the locker. I still read his poems. Sometimes I sit on that same bench in the town where we met, and I write. Every story now carries a piece of Ayan. He's no longer just a memory. He's in every word I write, every breath of silence. He didn't stay, but he never really left. Love doesn't always end with a kiss or a promise. Sometimes it ends with a whisper, a notebook, and a heart that still listens.